Listening to all ye sissies whine about two hoppy IPAs makes me want to bludgeon myself. And that's just what I'm going to do. Hey there, folks. I am the Mighty Plantain, and this is Bludgeon, a nice double IPA from Hidden Cove Brewing Company in Wells, Maine. These guys have got some spectacular beers, but their IPAs are definitely standouts, as well as their barrel-aged beers are just amazing. I anticipate good things from Bludgeon. This thing comes in at nearly 9% ABV, and based on their Thunderclap IPA, I have a feeling this one's going to be really good too. Hidden Cove down in Wells, Maine. Like I said, they've got some really great beers. It's nice to see cans, especially since they seem to be canning them right so that they taste great and there's no interference in the flavor from the can. Canning, it's one of those things where for the longest time canned beer had this negative taste with it, as the metallic taste would seep into the beer. This is mostly from your mass-produced stuff rather than craft. Craft beer seems to be able to line the cans and not have it interfere with the taste. But the nice thing about canning is that it allows them to get their product onto the shelves in more places faster because it's less expensive. So, canning, big thing for Maine beer, because we're seeing a lot more of these guys get into a lot more locations. Bigelow's starting to can, really excited about that. Booth Bay Craft Brewery started canning, and that was fun. Like I said, just seeing more and more of their beers showing up in more locations and not having to travel to the brewery to get them. As Hidden Cove, worth the trip, but it's about a 2.5 hour drive for me. So, enough about that. Let's talk about this beer. It has got a nice copper color to it. It's very hazy. Not a lot of big particulates in there, but an extremely hazy beer. Slightly effervescent. There's some good bubbles coming up from there. And I can smell it from here. It's like this sweet, fruity, citrusy aroma coming off of it. An overall hoppy bitterness, but mostly sweet and fruity aromas. It's got a nice medium mouthfeel. It's got a good hoppy punch to it. Decent malt backbone there. Just getting some graininess, maybe a little bit of breadiness from it. But up front, a lot of pine and citrus. Those are the two hop characteristics that I'm mostly keyed to, so I pick up on those. But underlying that, there's a hint of earthiness, and there is some floral in the finish, so there's a nice hop blend there. Very smooth, very easy to drink. And I mentioned it comes in at almost 9% ABV, but you wouldn't know it. I mean, they specifically mention on the label that they formulated it so that it wasn't really boozy, and I'm not getting any of that at all. I mean, maybe just a slight hint of booziness, but minor, extremely minor, compared to that big hoppy punch that I'm getting from it. It's an extremely juicy IPA, and typical of Maine IPAs, it's very bold. I think Sam Adams at Boston Beer Company, they did their Rebel IPA, and so it's got a very bold flavor, and we see that a lot in IPAs on the East Coast, especially in New England and definitely in Maine. Just bold is really the best way to describe them. Very hop forward. Pardon. And really hitting you. I mean, you know you're drinking a hoppy beer. You know you're drinking an IPA. This being a double, twice over as hoppy as most IPAs out there, but it just has that really bold New England / Maine IPA character to it. I mean, this one's disappearing fast, which could be dangerous considering the high ABV, but it's just so good. I think I gotta nail this with a flat out 5 out of 5. I think Thunderclap came in from the same brewer. I think Thunderclap came in at a perfect 5 out of 5 for me as well. Just they're doing some amazing things with IPAs down there at Hidden Cove, and I'm really liking it. Thrilled to see this one. Yeah, there's not much else I can say about it. It's delicious. Check it out. Hit me up down in the comments and the email link down below. Love to hear what you have to say about this beer. While you're down there, make sure to click on the like and share buttons, and don't forget to subscribe so you get a notification whenever I post a new video. Until next time, folks, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.